We got into sailing actually a year after we got married. We went on a charter to the U.S. Virgin Islands and the British Virgin Islands, and we really enjoyed it. And so then we joined Courageous Sailing in Boston Harbor, and we started learning how to sail there because neither of us had any experience sailing. And we were members at Courageous for probably like 5 years. Mm-hmm. We started on their keelboats and then graduated to their cruisers and took some cruising courses, cruised around the Boston Harbor Islands for a couple seasons, and then decided to take the plunge and get our own boat.
The Boston Boat Show. Last year, I think it was. We were there looking at actually we got tickets from Courageous, free tickets to go, so we went there and checked it out. We've been looking at this boat for like the past year when it came out. Just been keeping my eye on it as a little cruiser, something easy to handle, and then it was at the boat show, so we checked it out, and that's how we found out about Cape Yachts. I've been doing some research on cruisers, small cruisers, and understanding that this one was built out. Basically, it's the same design as their larger models. They fit everything in, it's just a little bit smaller, so it's easier to handle, but it still has all the kind of comforts you need, just shrunk down a little bit. We're not big people, so it kind of works out. And especially during COVID, you're not going to have like a ton of people on your boat. So it worked out. I think the most we had this season was about 6 people cruising around P-Town, so it was good.
For like a day sail.
Yeah, for a day sail, yes. But no, we were looking at this one just because it's a Cape Yachts had it, and it is kind of what we were looking for.
Yeah, we started the process looking for the Oceanis because we wanted something that was big enough for us to comfortably cruise around and spend a few nights on, but also so that we could kind of get used to a smaller, more manageable boat for our first boat. So we first met Mark when we were talking about looking at this boat as actually this past March, and we just figured we'd start the process to kind of figure out if we could order one or how it would work. And the boat that we saw at the boat show is actually still available, and it was in the garage here at Cape Yachts. So we met with Mark. Mark was so great. He met with us a few times because it was like a big decision to buy a boat, obviously. So Mark was really really patient with us and great about answering all of our questions and letting us see it as many times as we wanted to before we finally decided to purchase it.
Yeah, and we reached out to a few other dealers too of different models and different boats, and nobody was as attentive as Mark was. He was really on it and really helpful first time around, so we were looking for somebody to really help us through the process first time. And Mark really did that, where other people were more hands-off, and you didn't get that feeling that they'd be there to help you out. So Mark was really helpful in that regard. So once we signed the papers and got the negotiation out of the way, I think it was a lot smoother. It was much more, he's just helping us get used to the boat and figure things out and how everything works, and introducing us to the boat and things like that. So it became more of just more about sailing and about boat ownership than it was about the purchase process and things like that. So I think that helped a lot once we got the business out of the way. And then it became more of just, if you had a question, he could get back to you. And when we had the boat here for a few weeks when we first got it, getting some little things taken care of, and Mark was around a lot, so we saw him basically every day. So we got to know him pretty well, and he would hop on and help with any issues we were having, walk through anything with us. So it was really good.
Yeah, I think Mark's definitely someone that we think we could, just like if you had a question or a concern, I think we could just give him a call or send him an email, more of a friend than just a salesman. I think that's how I would describe it.
Yeah.
Well, so ever since we thought about getting our own boat, we've been following other people that have their own boats, and a lot of people have their own Instagrams for their boats. So we thought it would be fun to share our adventure that way on Instagram. We've actually connected with a lot of people who are interested in getting an Oceanis 30.1 because it is so new. There aren't that many out there, so a lot of people aren't able to get first-hand experience from owners. So it's been cool. We've gotten quite a few messages from people like all over the world too that are interested in this boat. So it's been fun in that respect, and also like I think our family and our friends enjoy it.
Yeah, and also it's the sailing community is interesting online. Everyone's willing to help out, and there's a couple in Germany who they were the first ones I think to get it in the water that we were able to find, and so they answered a few questions for us that we had on how things work and what they thought about stuff. And there's a couple in California who have one too, so we reached out to them a couple of times. So it's really helped in little specific questions that people might not know unless they've sailed it. So it's actually been really helpful.
So probably our most exciting sail was when we sailed from Boston to P-Town this summer, and we sailed in a small craft advisory, and there was like 7-foot seas and what was the wind, like 20 knots of wind. And the boat handled really, really well. It was an exciting sail for sure. It was probably like 5 or 6 hours.
It was like 8
hours of those conditions, and we were definitely happy to get there when we got there, but we definitely felt safe, and we felt like the boat handled the rough weather pretty well.
Yeah. So that was probably the roughest weather we were in. Other than that, it handles really well, and like up to 15 knots, it's fine. You don't have to reef. Everything handles well up to that point. So it handles really well.
Yeah.